Surging Strikes!
What's up, y'all? Bunny Chaff here. Welcome back to another episode of Pokemon FireRed. Last time, we arrived in Vermilion City and hopped on the SSN and cleared out most of their trainers. There's still one more area we haven't checked yet. What we're gonna do. Off screen, I decided to heal up and catch more Pokemon. Yeah, that's about it. Let's get to this other end of the ship. Bonjour, Riley. Imagine seeing you here. Riley, you were really invited. So, how's your Pokedex come along? I already caught 40 kinds, pal. Different kinds are everywhere. Crawl around in grassy areas and look hard for them. Alright, this is our... well, technically fourth because we did the optional rival battle. But yeah, third or fourth rival battle. He's gonna open up with his Pidgeotto again. Let's see if we can beat him with Fuzzy Wuzz this time. Last time we couldn't one-shot, but now that we're higher leveled, we should be able... Never mind. Okay, hopefully we won't die in one... Well, not in one hit, but... Die to a quick attack. Hey, very nice. So now that we drop the speed, one Brick Break should finish it off. Get the hell out of here. Bye-bye, birdie. Alright, next Pokemon is Kadabra. This time it does know Psychic-type moves, because it's evolved now. So we'll go into good old Peter. Comes the Kadabra. This thing also, I believe it knows Disable. What that does, it'll disable the move that you are planning to use, so... Or if you have used. So if I used Ember and I used Disable, it'll disable my Ember for like a couple turns. However, it's a little inaccurate, so sometimes it'll work, sometimes it won't. Let's see. Stab Ember might do more, or maybe we'll attack on its physically frailness. Let's try that with a Mega Punch. Ooh, faster, even though I'm higher leveled. That's alright, we take those. Eat a Mega Punch. Oh, almost dead. Okay, we'll just finish it off with the Ember. See, like that. Disabled my Mega Punch. Doesn't matter, because I'm assuming the next Pokemon should be his starter? Yes. Finally, his Squirtle evolved into Wartortle. We still don't have a great matchup into this, but Fuzzy Wuzz is good enough. Hopefully. Hopefully. No, I think it was Kingpin that took care of the Wartortle. Because, yeah, Fuzzy Wuzz died. So, let's go with a good old Brick Break. Hopefully it doesn't withdraw. Damn! Good damage. Doesn't even matter if it withdrawed. Because now we can finish it off with another Brick Break. What the? And he's out of here. Next up is Redicate. Oh, we'll keep it in. Keep it in for Fuzzy Wuzz. Didn't even need Kingpin. Really wasn't a good spot for Kingpin to come in. Well, I guess he could have came in on the Redicate. And the Pidgeotto. Oh well. Fuzzy Wuzz is a champ. She took down 3 of his Pokemon all by herself. And she wants to learn Seismic Toss. Okay. That's a weird move. So, Seismic Toss is one of, like, I think a couple of moves. I think it's only a couple. Might just be this and another move. Basically, what it does is that it does damage matching the user's level. So, Mankey here being level 26, when it uses Seismic Toss, it'll do 26 points of damage. It's not a bad move. It's good for consistent hits. Chansey is a Pokemon we'll come across later, is a good user of this move. It's a solid move, and if you don't have like a great physical attack stat, but you need some good solid chip in on a Pokemon, Seismic Toss is your guy. Unfortunately, Fuzzy Wuzz does pretty good on her own without it, so that's gonna be a no. Fun fact, in the original games, Seismic Toss could hit ghost types, whereas that, after those games, it couldn't because fighting types can't really hit ghost type Pokemon. Neither can normal types, because ghost types are immune to those types. I heard there was a cut master on board, but he was just a seasick old man. Cut itself is really useful. Yep, it'll be handy. You should go see him too. Smell ya. Jerk. Alright, let's go see the cut master. Looks like he's the captain of the ship. Oh, I feel hideous. Seasick. Rub the captain's back. Rub, 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 rub. Whew, thank you. I'm feeling much better now. You want to see my hidden cut technique? I could show you my prized cut technique if I weren't so ill. I know. You can have this hidden machine. Teach cut to your Pokemon and you can see it cut anytime. HM01 cut. Finally, the thing I've been meaning to talk about forever. So you seen those tiny trees around? I don't know if you have. They've been blocking our paths for a few. This is what it's for. So hidden machines are basically, they're kind of like TMs, but a bit more pain in the ass. They're necessary to move around certain obstacles, like huge bodies of water, tiny trees, boulders, rumbled rocks, and waterfalls. They're essential in just moving around the environment. You can't, unlike TMs, you can't get rid of them easily. You have to go to a specific type of person called the move deleter to get rid of them. So that's another reason why they're a pain in the ass, because yeah, they're not so easily rid of. They can't be so easily rid of. Another thing that's a pain in the ass about them is that since not every Pokemon can learn every single HM, you kind of have to shuffle around your party to get your HM slave around. Yes, that's what they're called. I could call them HM helper, but I don't want to. I want to call them HM slaves because it's goofier. Don't judge. Don't be hating. Yeah. So, yeah, you have to shuffle around your whole party. If you get like a full team of 6, and you're coming across some of these obstacles, you gotta go run all the way back to the Pokemon Center, to the PC, grab them, switch them out for a party member who's valuable, then go back through. It becomes a whole rigmarole. There's a couple of HMs you could realistically just teach to your Pokemon as a way of, doing some good damage, and some of them are actually their better attacks, believe it or not. And in like older games, you can get away with this a little more with teaching to your party members because not many Pokemon, and well, not that they didn't really have good movesets back then. So you can get away with it. And you can get away with it a little more with the newer games, at least since Gen 2, because you can get rid of them easily with a move deleter. So anyways, we have Cut here. Cut will allow us to get rid of any tiny trees that are blocking our path. And we got the gym badge from Misty's to use it. That's right. After each gym leader, they'll tell us what HM will be usable after we get the badge. Now, you can use them in battle before you get the badge. You just can't use them outside of battle. Well, that's cool. Now, before we get to the gym leader, we have some things to take care of in Vermilion. First off, do I have enough repels? I don't have any. Okay. So, first stop is the mart to get some repels. And to sell a bunch of shit. Because I got plenty of things to sell here. Got some Stardust. Don't need that. Get that out of here. A Nugget. Don't need that. Save the Moonstone. You can sell your TMs too. They go for a good chunk of money. I don't want some rare candies. Star Piece. They'll go for a good chunk of money. Like I said before, do not sell your mushrooms. Do not, do not, do not. Okay, what, well, of course I know. That's a silly question. I want repels. At least a good amount. I still want to have some money left over. Alright, wicked. Okay, first up, we're going to go right of Vermilion, and there's two things we can do. Now, Route 11, there's a bunch of trainers over here to fight, and if you're under level for the gym leader, you can go ahead and challenge them. I might just off-screen them all, because I'm a pretty good level for the gym leader. I mean, 23, 24, I mean, I could train up the other two. These guys have, like, a lot of, I think, electric types, at least Voltorbs. I know they have some Voltorbs. I know there's some Rattatas and Raticates. I know there's some Drowsies. Actually, I think this is where you could catch a Drowsy, if I'm not mistaken. I don't remember. Oh, item. Awakening. Not too shabby. So, yeah, this is a little grinding area. The route after this you can't go through because it is blocked by a Pokemon called Snorlax. That big rotund thing we got from that old man in the SSN. I don't know if you paid attention to the speed up. Probably not. That's alright. It was just sped up. And then finally, excuse me, on the side of Vermilion, we have Diglett's Cave. An optional dungeon. Because you don't have to do anything here. In this cave, obviously, you'll only find Diglett. Here, I'll run into one. Despite it being called Diglett's Cave, Diglets are only here 95% of the time. And on that 5%, you get its fully evolved form, Dugtrio. Now, what's so important about this cave? Well, besides the fact that it's a nice ground type to have, nice, fast, speedy ground type, really frail to have, and learns Earthquake automatically, which is such a great move. But they're also a great answer to... I don't have any Pokeballs. Balls. Alright, never mind, I'll just kill it then. They're a great answer into the next gym leader we'll be facing, who is an electric type, and they get easily outsped by Diglett here. There's only like one electric type that you might have trouble with, which are Voltorbs, because they're pretty freaking fast, but I'm sure if you level up your Diglett enough, you won't be running into them much. Or, you won't be getting outsped by them much, is what I'm trying to say. So yeah, that's this place, and I believe you could just find Dugtrios if you're a lower level, because I think they're like level, what, like 25? Something like that. Which is insane to have. A fully evolved Pokemon by like level 25 of this. At least in the wild, is what I mean. I got a Nidoking, I know. And you could have a Clefable or Wigglytuff, whatever. But the fact that you can just find one out in the wild in here, it's not a bad encounter rate at 5%. Could be worse, could be like a 1%. I don't think he has anything important, just about Rock Tunnel. That's fine. And here we are on the other side of Route 2 we couldn't get to because of the stupid little tree. So this is our way back to the other side of Mount Moon. So it took us like, what, 2 or 3 episodes to finally make it back around? So, not too bad a pace. So if you got some stuff that you still you want to get on the other side of Mount Moon or in Mount Moon, go ahead and grab it. Let's see, I think we want to talk to this kid. No, he's not that useful. Talk to you. Yes, this guy wants you to trade him an Abra for a Mr. Mime. Now this is a one-of-a-kind deal because you can't find Mr. Mime anywhere else in Kanto. In Pokemon Yellow, it is not a Abra, it is a Clefairy you have to catch. So why don't we go see my nice Abra in the center, in the PC, whatever. Back in the house, I should have done this sooner, before we got into the cave, but whatever. Let's go hand off our nice Abra to this young man. Sorry if I sound a little more fat and out of shape than usual. My nose is stuffed up. Not sick, it's just really stuffy up in my room. So, sound a lot more out of breath than usual. Which isn't saying much. like that, we got ourselves a Mr. Mime named Mimian, our first traded Pokemon. Now, traded Pokemon are, besides what I said before about them being special, these guys are also special in the fact that they have a set nature when you get them, which again I'll go over, and they have a very specific way they're handled with stats. Again, I'll go over that later. But right now, we have a Mr. Mime named Mimian. And you know what? Oh, it was attained by Riley. Or Rayleigh? Rayleigh? I don't know. But we got this kind of rare Pokemon. And we haven't caught a teammate in a while. So you know what? Our fourth teammate is Mimian the Mr. Mime. How about that? But you didn't see that coming. Fun fact, in the original games, I think Red and Blue, it was a Mr. Mime named Marcel. Because I think the trainer was named Marcel. So that's cool. But I think in Yellow they changed it to Mimian. So that's... I guess it's... I don't know if I'd prefer a Marcel or Mimian. I think Mimian's a little more unique than Marcel, so... Hi, remember me? I'm one of Professor Oak's aides. Boy, he's got a lot of them. They're spreading out. It's like a disease, very contagious. Anyways, have we gathered data on at least 10 kinds of Pokemon? I sure hope we do. Yep, 16. This is one of the reasons why I wanted to catch Pokemon. There's going to be more Professor Oak's aides around the area. They'll give us cool items for a certain milestone in our Pokedex. Here, if we caught 10, we'll get HML5 Flash, which we could use thanks to Brock, I believe. Yeah, basically what Flash does. And I should also explain Cut. But first, Flash. Flash is a move, just a normal type move that lowers the opponent's accuracy. Oh, and it also illuminates caves. In the next generation, after Generation 3, Generation 4, should have just said that, it actually becomes, I think, 100% accurate, or something like that, maybe not, but it also changes from a HM to a TM. It becomes TM70. Don't ask me how I know that. But it's still a usable move outside of battles, so it just lights up dark areas. In Pokemon Yellow, you don't even need Flash. You could just talk to your partner Pikachu, light up the cave for like a split second. Still cool nonetheless. I am also going to give this to our Paris. Cut. Cut is basically just a basic normal type move, 50 power, 95% accurate. It's like a slightly better tackle. It's, out of all the HM moves, it's not that great. Oh, shoot. It's not that great. There's a better normal type move you can learn, at least for HM wise, that's a lot more serviceable than Cut. By like 100 times better. I don't know if there's a hidden item in here. My memory serves. It feels like there should be, but I'm not seeing it. Okay. That's pretty much all we could do in Cut. I know there's a Cut tree in Viridian City, but I already got that item because you can just go around the tree, so it's really not that important. So I'll meet you back at Viridian City. Oh shit, something I should mention. Oh yeah, be careful with Diglets. Be careful, be careful, be careful. I know they have two abilities, Sand Veil and Arena Trap. They're mainly known for Arena Trap, which means they'll trap you in the battle and you can't escape. The only way you could escape is if you're a flying type and or you have Levitate as an ability. So yeah, we can't escape, unfortunately. So Mimian's gonna go down in his first battle. And it's using Dig. Great. That's awesome. I completely forgot. For a split second, I had Mimian up front, and he was lower leveled. Because with repels, if you're lower leveled If you're a lower level than the wild Pokemon in there, you're going to be running into the wild Pokemon. It's almost as if, like, you didn't have the repel up at all. So that's awesome. Anyways, back to Viridian.
Who's that Pokemon?
It's Raichu!
Alright. After I got out of Diglett's cave, I went back to Route 11 and off-screened all those trainers, got all those items, and we did a little bit of grinding. I wasn't too worried about the other guys because I remembered, oh yeah, I got Kingpin who has a dig and he'll just destroy the gym. And Fuzzy was as a backup, and Peter too. But instead I grinded up Mimian, who's now level 18. So I think about Mr. Mime, he plays more of a support Pokemon. At least that's what his whole shtick is in his level up set. He'll learn like a lot of like stab boosting moves, something to help out the allies, substitute, stuff like that. He doesn't learn many attacking moves. He tried to learn Double Slap, which would have paired well with Meditate, which boosts your attack by 1 stage, but I decided against it because Double Slap was not going to be doing crap from Mr. Mime anyways, because he really doesn't have much of a physical attack stat, so. Substitute is a interesting move. Basically, it'll take a quarter of your HP, create a little substitute doll, and basically the substitute has its own little HP stat that's equal to the amount lost to create it. And if you don't have enough HP, you can't create a substitute. Basically what that does, it would take hits until it breaks. Now it can take either 1 hit, 2 hits, maybe 3 if you got a really tanky Pokemon. Mr. Mime here is not that tanky, so it's probably going to take like either 1 or 2 hits for it to break. This thing will also help you be immune to status conditions, so that's cool. At least most of them. I think you're still affected by. Well, actually, no. I think yeah, you're immune to most status conditions. So it's not a bad move for Mr. Mime, but it's not the greatest, and I might replace it later because it's not really a move I really want to use on Mr. Mime, especially since his HP is so low, and it can get wore down. I mean, his HP stat is so low. He can get wore down over time, but I mean, I'll make some use for it. There's some uses for it. Don't worry. So neat thing in Generation 1, when you create this substitute and it has the equal amount of HP that it took from you to create it, it'll have 1 more HP in Gen 1. And then they got rid of it. So yeah, that's about it. So we're gonna go and challenge the gym now. I don't see Mr. Mime being all too useful here because Magnemite's being part Steel type in this game, meaning they resist Psychic type moves and only has a Psychic type move. Yeah, I'm not seeing too much good out of here, but a good thing about Mr. Mime is that he has the ability Soundproof, which makes him immune to sound-based moves, so stuff like Growl and Supersonic have no effect on him, so that's awesome. Helps out a lot. Okay, so Pikachu. This is one of the few Pokemon we can do. It's good to bring a lot of paralyze heals here, because you'll be getting paralyzed a lot, especially if you got like a Diglett or something with Dig, or anything that just makes contact and it's a heavy hitter. Because a lot of these Pokemon have the ability Static. By a lot, I mean it's Pikachu and Voltorb. I'm gonna learn Light Screen. Okay, so this is the team support I was talking about. Light Screen will allow you to reduce damage from special attacks for 5 turns, which really nice to have, especially for my team at the moment, because I don't think we have really good special defense. Hell, I don't even think we have good bulk in general. And Reflect, that's the opposite of Light Screen, where instead of special attacks, it's physical attacks. I'm gonna get rid of Substitute. Controversial, I know, but I can always reteach it because there's a way we can get another Substitute. Don't you worry. Well, multiple ways. At least for Mr. Mime. One way for everyone else. Now the Pikachu, I think they're just going to mainly try to go for Slam because they see my weaker physical defense. Or they just... Oh. Or maybe they just don't have an electric type move. Ah, who cares? I destroyed them both with confusion. Okay, and then we got the next guy. That's why I joined this gym. Shouldn't be too bad unless he has a Magnemite. He's gonna have a Magnemite, huh? No Voltorb, okay. Voltorbs can either have static or soundproof, so it's kind of a gamble to use contact moves against them. But generally they aren't too tough. They just get really annoying because they can get Spark, which is a move that was introduced in Generation 2, believe it or not, which is weird because I didn't know it was. Because I think it's only on like very few electric types. Anyways, Spark, it's a fairly strong electric type move, especially at this point in the game. It's really annoying because it has a 30% chance to cause paralysis, compared to most other electric type attacks, which only are 10%. Good lord. And okay, did not get paralyzed once, so that's nice. Confusion's pretty neat. It has a 10% chance, I believe, to cause confusion on Pokemon, so that's cool. And there's the Magnemite. I'm going to do what's called switch training. You've probably seen me do it before. Basically, I keep the Pokemon in, and then I swap them out to another Pokemon so they can get the experience as well. Usually, since it divides the XP, it's not the... It's a good method. It's probably the best method if you're, raising a Magikarp. It becomes kind of annoying when you're not getting much XP to begin with, so you're dividing off a very small amount. So, but it's still a helpful tactic. Okay, so I should have a couple of these, yeah, since, you know what, oh, okay, let's try that again. Use that Mr. Mime, Super Potion up. I also bought some Super Potions because I didn't have any, and I didn't want to waste that Hyper Potion I have because I'm saving that for, hopefully, a little later. Lieutenant Surge, huh? That must be the gym leader then, huh? Wink wink, nudge nudge. Just the Pikachu. Yeah, I'd say definitely bring a bunch of paralyzed heals if you have Pokemon that they're gonna get paralyzed by static a lot. Ow. Ooh. Ow. And goodbye, Pikachu. Because I really didn't get paralyzed much, surprisingly. Only by the Voltorb. I mean, I guess it could come in pre-paralyzed with a Pokemon, except for ground types. Unless they get hit by static. Or Stun Spore. Or Glare. Which is also a move that paralyzes you. So, I mean, the only problem with coming in pre-paralyzed is that you cut your speed in half and you can only move 50% of the time. That really only works with, like, Rattatas and Machops. Basically, they have an ability called Guts, which increases their attack by like 50% when they're suffering from a status condition. Switch under the trash. Okay. No, I didn't mean to do that. No, I didn't mean to do that. God damn it. Okay. Yeah, it boosts their physical attack by like 50%, so they do like a shitload of damage. Usually, you don't want to go with paralysis because of the fact that you lose your speed and you can only move 50% of the time. So it's better to have like burn or poison. Sleep, you don't want because you can't really do anything when you're sleeping unless you have a specific move which allows you to attack while you're sleeping, called Sleep Talk. But I think at one point they did nerf it in one of the generations where you couldn't get that guts boost. So, okay, should be this one. Damn it! Okay, so to solve this puzzle, there's one electric switch in one of these trash cans. Well, technically there's two. Okay, so it's that one, so it should be this one. Oh my fucking god, I usually can get this. And what I'm trying to say is that the other switch is next to the first one. I don't know why I'm failing. I can usually get this pretty goddamn well. What the fuck? It's not hard. It's just annoying. Then it should be this one. Thank you. Goddamn. Not a hard one, just annoying. So yeah, it'll be next to it, so it's not really close by, it'll be like vertically next to it. Yeah. Whatever. Anyways. Lieutenant Surge. Do I want to open up with Mr. Mime? Yeah, I think Mr. Mime can do it. If not, we can set up a light screen to help out. So we're gonna save. Now, I gotta say, Lieutenant Surge in the anime, badass. What a freaking badass this guy is. Tall, like 7 foot maybe, 6 foot. Tall, veteran, war veteran, badass. And he only had a Raichu. And they kind of mimicked that in Pokemon Yellow, where he only had a Raichu. However, in the games, he is a joke. I'll show you why. Hey kid, what do you think you're doing here? You won't live long in combat, not with your puny power. I tell you kid, electric Pokemon saved me during the war. They zapped my enemies into paralysis. The same I'll do to you. That was like an Arnold Schwarzenegger and like an attempt of like what he sounded like in the anime. Okay, Lieutenant Surge will open up with Voltorb. And like I said, Pokemon Yellow, he'll only have a Raichu. Because it's trying to mimic the Pokemon anime. Okay, now why I say he's a joke. So, at least in the original games, he has an AI level that is pretty low. I think they range from like level 1 through 3, 3 being usually the best. And they all have their own special quirks. I think this guy had like an AI level of like 1. In other words, he'll sometimes use the right move to finish you off, or he'll just not and dick around. Like, he's pathetic. Especially in Pokemon Yellow, where you think he'll do great with like a fully evolved Raichu, which is Pikachu's fully evolved form, if you use a Thunderstone on it. You would think, oh yeah, this guy with like a strong electric type attack and Mega Kick and Mega Punch, you'd think this guy would know how to take care of you. You think the AI would choose the right moves on you. There's a chance he won't even use the super effective button on you. Or he'll just not do anything. Because I think he knows like Tail Whip or some shit, or some non-attacking move. He'll just dick around and not even attack you. And you can just beat him pretty easily. He has become a joke in some of the like Pokemon solo speedrun community, where they pretty much just run the game with one Pokemon. I mentioned this before, with only one Pokemon. It's not like serious speedrunning, but it's still pretty cool to watch what they can do. And he's become a joke because of how piss easy he is. And he is kind of piss easy, generally, if you're just playing a normal game, because you can just go pick up Diglett or Dugtrio next door. Or you can have a Nidoking or Nidoqueen who know the move Dig, which, by the way, Dig got a huge nerf in after Generation 1. It was 100 base power in Generation 1. Still did all the digging animation where it takes 2 turns to do shit. Or whatever. It took 2 turns to work. And, wow. He double teamed like 4 times and I didn't miss Dig once. That is really, really freaking sad. Anyways, yeah, Dig was 100 power back in the day. So imagine, so now after Generation 2, it got nerfed to 60. Holy shit. Big ass nerf. It still doesn't matter. We just took him down really easily. Magical Leaf. Ooh. That gives us some grass coverage that we need. So it's a simple grass type move that can never miss. We'll get rid of, I'm going to risk it and say barrier because I got reflect to help out the team and myself. So essentially, Lieutenant Surge is a joke of a gym leader. Not only that, there's also a mistranslation here from my understanding. The Thunder Badge does not crank up your speed. It does let you use Fly. It does not crank up your speed. And instead boosts your defense. Which is a really weird typo to have. I think it's in both games. I think both Red and Blue, Yellow, and Leaf Green and FireRed have that typo where it says it boosts speed and not defense. I can look that up and have future me look at it, but I'm telling you that's what it is. Anyway, so we get a boost to our defense. Or speed, if I'm wrong. So, we beat Lieutenant Surge. I'm not going to end it in a Pokemon Center. I've done that way too many times. And it's probably becoming really annoying for some of you. So, I'm going to walk out and end it there. So, we beat Lieutenant Surge. We got ourselves a new Pokemon. And we got the HMs for Cut and Flash. So next time on Pokemon FireRed, we'll finish up what we got here in Vermilion and take care of business elsewhere. See you guys later. Have a good night.